is a code written in your DNA, a biological imperative. It drives you to build, to conquer, to accumulate resources. But there is another code, a parasitic script designed to hack that imperative, to divert the flow of your resources from your empire into a black hole. Most men believe they are losing money because of bad luck, market forces, or poor timing. They are wrong. They are being drained, systematically, psychologically. You are not a partner. In this script, you are a host. This is the Siren Script, the secret playbook used to bypass your logic, hijack your dopamine receptors, and empty your accounts while you hanker for the privilege. They do not want you to know this mechanism exists. They want you blind. They want you compliant. Today, we declassify the 7 dark psychology traits used to drain your resources. Listen closely. Your sovereignty depends on it. To understand the theft, we must first understand the lock she picks. Let us look at the case of the Skinner box, a fundamental experiment in behavioral psychology. A rat is placed in a box with a lever. If the lever delivers food every time it is pressed, the rat presses it only when hungry. It is a transaction. It is rational. But if the lever delivers food only sometimes, randomly, unpredictably, the rat becomes obsessed. It presses the lever incessantly. It neglects sleep. It neglects hygiene. It presses until it collapses. This is called intermittent reinforcement. The siren does not view you as a man. She views you as the rat. And your resources, your money, your time, your status, are the lever. History is littered with emperors, tycoons, and kings who fell not to armies, but to this specific psychological architecture. From Mark Antony losing the Roman East to Cleopatra, to the modern CEO losing half his net worth in a divorce settlement he never saw coming, the method remains the same. The technology changes, but the biology does not. She is not reacting to you emotionally. She is executing a script, and until you can read the lines, you are doomed to play your part. Here is the breakdown, the 7 traits. Trait number 1, the feigned vulnerability, also known as the Trojan horse. The most dangerous predator does not look like a predator, it looks like prey. To drain your resources, she must first lower your defenses. If she approaches you with aggression or overt dominance, your guard goes up. You lock the vault, so she presents a crisis. A manufactured frailty. I don't understand these finances. I'm so overwhelmed. I need someone strong to handle this. This triggers your white knight instinct. The biological urge to protect and provide. You feel powerful stepping in to solve the problem with your wallet. You feel masculine. That feeling is the anesthesia. While you are busy feeling like a hero, she is assessing your liquidity. She is handing you the bill and you are paying it to buy your own ego. Trait number 2, strategic withholding. This is the application of the Skinner box. Once she has you investing, she begins the withdrawal. Affection, validation, and intimacy become scarce. A logical man would leave. But you are no longer thinking with logic. You are thinking with dopamine addiction. When she finally gives you a crumb of validation, a compliment, a touch, a moment of peace, your brain releases a massive spike of dopamine because it was unexpected. You begin to associate spending money on her with the release of that chemical. You buy gifts not for her, but to induce the high of her approval. You are paying for a drug and she controls the supply. Trait number 3, the moving goalpost or incremental price anchoring. In negotiation theory, this is known as salami slicing. You never ask for the whole sausage at once. You take it slice by thin slice until it is gone. She will never demand your entire fortune on day one. It starts with a small test of compliance, a dinner, a handbag, a vacation. Each time you pay, you set a precedent. You establish a new baseline. Then the goalpost moves. What was considered a luxury last month is now the minimum standard for this month. If you revert to the previous standard, you are accused of not caring. You are accused of changing. She anchors your worth to your spending. If the spending drops, she signals that your value as a man has dropped. To regain your status in the relationship, you must increase the resource flow. Trait number 4, isolation via protection. To drain a resource effectively, you must cut off the supply lines that might replenish it or protect it. She identifies the voices of reason in your life. Your business partners, your family, your oldest friends. The people who might say, "This doesn't look right." She does not ban them. That is too obvious. Instead, she utilizes concern. They don't respect you like I do. They are using you. They are jealous of what we have. She frames herself as your only true ally. Once she has isolated you, your reality becomes malleable. You have no one to reality check her demands. You are on an island and she is the only boat. Trait number 5, the manufactured competence crisis. This is a subtle form of gaslighting designed to seize control of the assets directly. She creates chaos. She creates drama where there is none. She creates a whirlwind of emotional instability. Why? Because when you are exhausted from managing her emotional storms, you have no energy left to manage your empire. Eventually, you will seek to delegate. You will let her handle the small things just to buy peace. You handle the house accounts. You book the travel. You deal with the contractors. You think you are delegating labor. In reality, you are handing over the keys. You are granting access. By the time you wake up, the small things have become the structural pillars of your life, and she holds the deed to all of them. Trait number 6, the public image hostage. Machiavelli noted that a prince must avoid being hated. The siren knows this. She cultivates a public image of the perfect couple. She posts the photos. She charms your colleagues. She integrates herself into your social hierarchy. This is not love. This is leverage. She knows that if you cut off the resources, she can destroy your reputation. She holds the nuclear codes to your social standing. The fear of a messy, public implosion keeps the wallet open. You are paying hush money to a woman you are still sleeping with. Trait number 7, future faking. This is the ultimate con, the Ponzi scheme of relationships. She sells you a vision of a future that will never exist. Once we get this house, I'll be happy. Once we take this trip, the stress will stop. Just get through this quarter, and we will focus on your needs. You are investing in a future ROI, return on investment, that is perpetually just over the horizon. You keep pouring resources into the pit, believing that eventually the pit will fill up and you can build a foundation on it. But the pit has no bottom. The future she promises is a mirage. It moves away as you approach it. The only reality is the transaction happening right now, where you lose and she gains. The counter strategy. Now that you see the code, how do you break it? You cannot negotiate with a parasite, you can only remove it. Defense 1, financial opacity. Silence is power. Never reveal the full extent of your resources. If she does not know it exists, she cannot create a crisis to extract it. Operate on a need-to-know basis. She does not need to know. Defense 2, the emotional firewall. Detach your self-worth from her approval. When she withdraws affection, do not chase. Do not pay. Mirror her behavior. If she pulls back, you pull back further. Remove the reward for a bad behavior. Starve the bad habit. Defense 3, the walk-away power. The person who cares less controls the relationship. You must be willing to burn the ship. If she senses that you are afraid to lose her, she has won. You must demonstrate through action that your resources are for your mission, not her comfort. If she attempts to use the Siren Script, you do not argue, you do not explain. You execute the sovereign veto. You close the tap. Watch how quickly the love evaporates when the transfer of wealth stops. That is your answer. That is your truth. We live in a world of predators. They do not wear claws, they wear smiles. They do not hunt in the jungle, they hunt in the boardroom and the bedroom. You have been given the lens to see the invisible war. Do not be the rat in the box. Be the architect of the maze. If you want to master the laws of power, if you want to immunize yourself against manipulation and build a fortress that cannot be breached, you are ready for the next level. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. This is the dark influence code. We are watching. Make sure you are the one in control.